might not be here yet. Or there he is! Yo, do you want to come up? You can come. A surprise guest joining the panel that'll probably fight with his counterpart. Eventually guess who it is, but you'll figure it out. So we're gonna get started now with the sound panel, and yes, so you're here for Warframe. You know our sound team. We got music, we got voices, we got audio design. I'm Rebecca. I'll be running this panel today with 4 amazing people who I'm so excited that you get to hear them talk about what they do for Warframe Sound for the next hour. We'll of course get your questions in at the end. The microphone is over there to line up, but up until then, there are 4 people here ready to talk to you about some crazy awesome stuff. We'll let them introduce themselves one by one, starting with some guy named George, and we'll go from there.
Hi, I'm some guy named George.
Georgie Spanos!
That's my legal name, full legal name, some guy named George. I'm George Spanos. I'm the audio director on Warframe.
I'm reading off the prompter. My name is Keith Power. I have written and hope to continue to write most of the music for Warframe.
And a very special guest and first-time TennoCon attendee. Yes.
I've been waiting to say this for about 4 months to you. Hello, lizards. Oh no, I'm very excited now.
Yes!
It's what?
The anticipation.
Don't steal my lines, Lotus!
Till rigor, I've told you.
We're burning up our best material.
I
We
know.
could have an hour of just Lotus and Till just cat fighting. Just
One thing you might notice at the bottom of the panel, it says hi in the front row
Yes.
because someone very special to Warframe's sound as well. We were very excited to have them actually show up today. They've been working at D for a long time. My special guest.
Hello, everyone! Thank you for coming!
Vayhek is here. This is James Atkins.
Nice. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Yeah,
I know a little bit.
yeah,
of a change.
that's a hilarious part. He's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
So we have a great show for you today. I'm so excited. I honestly am so excited to have you guys on the couch because you have done so much to define the experience of Warframe, the characters you voice. Every time I hear a Lucas line, I scream.
Every time, just know that every time I do get mad at you, it does. It's hard to do those lines. Don't worry.
Thank you.
That's all.
But
I love the opportunity to actually snipe back at Lotus any single time. And then the talk quest, it's just like, ooh, you and Teshin, ooh, is there a history there? Till doesn't strike me as catty, but it's so fun to think that he could be. And of course, all of you Tenno out there that are stealing from my index need to give me back my credits.
yes!
Because when you talk about cattiness, I think Nephonios takes the proverbial cake.
Made with greedy milk, of course.
What's that?
Made with greedy milk, of
Oh,
course.
greedy milk boy.
So we've got the introductions done. I wanted to ask you guys just a few quick questions because I know you all are hardworking folks, and I wanted to make sure that we all understood from your point of view what's the hardest stuff to work on for Warframe sound. So we'll start with George and go all the way down. I gotta know.
The hardest thing is everything, really. Sorry, that's yeah.
You stole my answer.
Yep, yep. No, it's the constant updates that we do that require a lot of sound, require a lot of voices, music, sound design. For myself and the team, just putting all the sounds in and making them interesting and making them awesome is just probably the most challenging aspect, I think.
I agree. It's sort of everything, but more specifically, at this point, after hundreds of pieces of music, I sort of feel like the next thing is always like, so how do you not repeat yourself? How do you come up with something that's still signature, still sounds like the game, but it's like not like anything you've done before? So it's always the next thing. It's always the next thing for me.
I think it's a two-part question for me because as a voice actor, you know, I'm challenged with, you might think, oh, you have to come up with a voice for that character. No, I have to come up with the character, and then the proper characterization then the voice will follow after that. And while that might be part of my job, my other part of that job is to listen to that man right over there, because he gonna direct me. And I think we went through 4 revisions before we landed on what we liked, what you liked, for Mr. Real Tagore. Because I could not get, whatever we were doing, we were communicating back and forth. And that was really tough. I remember one of the hardest things was I didn't have a picture of Till. Never had a picture of him. Everything that you hear was created with no visual. It was all text-based.
Note to self: always give pictures to the actors.
You do
If
not.
they're available.
No, you don't want George to draw you pictures when they don't exist.
Yeah, you don't want that.
That's
You don't want
very
that.
figures.
I wasn't on the art panel for a reason.
But we started it off because I got the idea that he was a scientist. And I'm like, okay, so I think of lab coat, lanky, Doc Brown hair kind of thing. And I think like my first version of Till was something like, you know, like, oh, these filthy Tenno coming around my lap.
That's right.
Which
That's right.
doesn't work at all, but you know that. We all know that now. But it's going back and forth, and having someone who is extremely patient, thank you so much, George, to go back and forth with you and trust you to create a character and trust you to carry a character like that and be able to do it like that. And I was so happy with what it came out with. So.
Yeah, the Till is quite the beefcake, so you can't go from.
Is he? Really? I didn't know. Couldn't
and
tell.
It's so different because you I'm talking about Till Rhaegor. Come on, the big boy.
Oh, really?
But we work with George, we're beside him. So the dynamic when you're recording, like you guys, do you ever call real time, or is it always send a file, email, and then review, or how does that work?
It's that last one, yeah. It's basically, here you go, roll with it. If we need to revise it, we'll fix it, and how we'll fix it will be coming along like that. That's basically the process. But Neffy is pure Neff. That's my interpretation of it. And George was like, yeah, we're rolling with that. That's totally cool with that. So.
And that's the thing. Once we develop the character, then it's great because then all the rest of the lines just kind of come together,
Yeah.
and then it's just a matter of maybe the delivery needs to be a little different. Maybe it needs to be a little stronger, a little more projected, or a little more under his breath, and so we try to work that stuff out.
And when we finally struck on Till's final voice, I sent off the files. I didn't know what it was going to sound like in the very end. But you added the filters to make him sound like he's talking through his little robot mask, and he actually pitched down the final version by about 10-15%. So I recorded. I was just like, these filthy lizards scamping about which twit did this thing, which then got pitched down to which twit did this thing. And it was like, oh, that's what you want? Okay, yeah. All right. And then when we did the Nata quest, we did the assassination mission, I'm like, I know exactly how he's supposed to sound now.
That's the interesting thing about it is we'll get the voice files back and the performance is there. And then so it's like, okay, how do we make this sound more evil or more powerful? And so we'll try different things like pitching and adding other kind of effects to it. And then it kind of just grows organically. And then it's like, yep, this sounds great.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
This is such a foreign world for James and I, because you just drag us in your office and are like, record these lines now and get back to work, and then we don't get this creative. No, I'm joking.
That was actually what I was going to say, was like, when it's the quick ones, like when it's like a quick few lines, those are surprisingly more difficult than if we're doing a long run. Like the ones that when we did the recording for the raid, you get kind of used to using your voice in a particular way. So when I did the raid, it was actually a little ways in, it became much, much easier to pull that kind of voice out. Oddly enough, like more recently when we do just kind of the quick ones, he's going after whatever he's going after. Those are kind of tough because I go really hard and oftentimes kind of come out of the booth. And just the entire afternoon after that is.
And then you still have work to do.
Yeah, wow. And then back to the desk, so.
And little fun fact, but the booth that we use to record in has no ventilation. And so
It doesn't.
James will come out of there just like dripping in sweat, deep red face. And I'm like, geez, man, I hope you're not hyperventilating here. You're going to be okay. But we always get a great performance out of it. So
One more.
yeah.
So our next question is about favorite things, but to me it sounds like we just talked about your favorite things, but if you guys, because the challenge is always the best too, but if you want to talk specifically about your favorite thing you've ever done with Warframe sound, I would love to hear it. And I know this is a tough one because
This is a tough
it's
one.
all so perfect, right?
I think for me, and we'll show a little bit of this after, Octavia has been the highlight for me in Warframe. Just all of the work that went into making her just work, basically, and all of the recording we did, all of the code that had to go into it to make the Mandicord work and everything. And there were a lot of not just creative problems, but just technical problems to work through. And it's great when you figure all that out and you come away with something and you're like, man, this is awesome. And I remember all the different iterations we had of the Mandicord and how it started off simple enough, and I kept asking code for more and more, and they're like, George, you're crazy. You're turning this into a music game. It's not a music game. But no.
What's wrong with a music game?
Well, exactly. That's what I think. But no, I think we struck a nice balance of tech and creativity in it. So that's been my favorite aspect, at least of this year, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have a couple of favorite aspects. One not from this year and one from this year. The one not from this year that's going to be really hard to beat for a long, long time is the Second Dream theme.
Yes.
And for a lot of reasons, we worked on that. I think we worked on that for about 6 months, and there was a lot of back and forth. And George is responsible for so much of what I think is really great about that. And then there's some new music that you're going to hear later today that sends things off in a bit of a different direction, and that's all I'm going to say about it. That's my new favorite thing. But I can't say anything more about it. But come back later this evening.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think any voice actor worth their salt would tell you that every time you get into the booth is your favorite time in the booth. And it's cheesy and it's cliche, but it is true. I mean, if you're not loving what you do, you might as well find something else to do. Especially as a voice actor. But I think that whenever George says, we got a new script for you to do, I just giggle like a schoolgirl. I really do. It's so much fun to go like, there's more stuff to do. I just love the chance to get around and play with these characters, especially now that they're, pretty much both of them, I think, are 2 years old now.
Yeah.
And so now they're established. And the fact that there's more stuff to do with them, voice actors don't get a lot of chances to do that. We usually, we go in, we record, and it's done. And there's all sorts of examples out there, people, with seasons of shows and episodes of movies and games and multiple games that go on for 18,000 episodes, and it's great, but that's not the norm. And so being able to revisit anything is so much fun. It really, really is.
I honestly, on a personal level, the way you interact with the community is just so exciting to me because it's what we're all about. So
that's just me. That's just me being on Twitter, writing everything in caps and just.
I know.
That's just basically me going like, "Shut up, lizard." That's basically it. And then they just go, "Oh my God, Jill, talk to me! Oh my God!"
it's perfect. perfect. It's perfect.
I know.
And
You'd have to have like a nice like cursive script, I think, for Lotus
I
or
know.
something. That'd be great.
Can someone? No, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say someone make a font, but we already have one.
My answer is actually really similar. Because I do QA work regularly, like day to day now.
Yeah, if you're wondering who he is and where he,
Yeah, actually, that's the department I'm in, and I absolutely love it. I've loved it the entire time that I've been with it. But when Vehek comes up and there's something that I'm able to do for him, that's the most exciting thing. Probably doing the raid or the Fomorian core event was likely my favorite. Those two were. You really kind of got to stretch my legs with some of the dialogue and the things that he was doing there. So those two were likely my favorite.
I'll never forget when you invaded the live stream. Who saw that dev stream? Yeah.
The laugh is what. As soon as James did the laugh, I was like, "Yep, this is the character."
Yeah.
And it's like it's just like just please do more of that. And yeah, so.
Can I just say something right now that I have Vehek here? This is so cool. When we originally recorded Two Men of Rigor, the line that you hear in the game was not the original line in the script, and there was just one little thing that they took out, which I thought was just great, and it was that attack me, my science. Maybe you thought, what was it? Maybe you thought I was that legless parrot, and I said no, I'm no heck. You give me a Fomorian fleet, you get a different outcome, hellish outcome. That was the line that you heard. What you didn't hear was that it said, maybe you thought I was some legless parrot, that bionic blowhard. I'm no heck. That's how it goes. So it's just this little thing. And so I just had to go like, hey, it's the bionic blowhard. He's here. Hey, he's here. So I was just like, when I first saw him, just like, it's the guy that I can't say the line from. Oh, I just said it.
It's weird having two Grenier up on the couch. You never expect you to be so jolly and willing to interact with the Lotus on such a
Nice guys, really nice guys.
That's because I'm an actor, Lotus.
We all know.
You know what I'm really hoping for, guys? I want to know what Nefanyo is really like when he drops the preacher facade.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for me, again, you talk about developing characters and having characters being so well developed. I don't know what he's like. How am I going to know what he's like? I don't know what is he even going to drop the facade? I don't know.
What's his favorite meal? What does he like to drink? How does he kick back?
I don't know.
He
We don't know yet.
I
he
wonder.
rolls in money.
We could go into that. I'm sure there's fanfics out there that explore that very issue, but we don't have time to read all of them.
But we do have time
New
to
panel?
listen.
New panel? No.
You were kind enough to bring some bloopers.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Did
so
I now?
We have some footage and some bloopers for you. These are some audio tracks that had me howling. Thank you for sending them. This is the first
Welcome.
one. So if you are a little lizard here, which we
Yeah.
all are in some way.
And these are raw recordings. This is from 2 years ago. I saved all the raw recordings. What you're about to hear is like not reproduced. This is from 2 years ago in the booth, raw cut.
Here we go. I think it'll work.
Little lizards can't resist another chance to get their hands in my boom.
I forgot to say sticky, I did.
Little lizards. Little lizards on the wall. What are we doing? I have no idea why I'm switching to that accent. Let's try again.
And then we have...
Come near me, and I'll pound you into a little cube. Come near me, and I'll pound you into a tiny cube. I get English.
And
Come near me, and I'll pound you into a tiny cube. Drilling.
Oh, whoops.
Hundreds of hours, and just cracking through the sarcophagus now. Open wide.
I don't think there's any way I could say that. It's not going to be taken the wrong way. It was hard to hear that up here, but I think, yeah, you guys heard that. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and then
Okay,
there's
good.
last but not least.
isn't, shouldn't, can't be, but is. Why are they here? 'Cause I found it. The sarcophagus. They should all be dead, trapped inside, but these ones are not. Why? Sergeant, remain on alert. Send all reinforcements to the location we discussed.
Yeah, that last one there wasn't a blooper. That last one there was actually something that we recorded but we never used because I think they turned it into a text message that you got in your inbox.
Right.
That was actually going to start
you
like
can
that. We
text
do,
in the future.
And we do that sometimes.
And now you know why updates are always delayed, because I got to edit this stuff all out.
All these
I give him
bloopers.
45 minutes of audio and he's like, "Oh, come on."
And
Come on, Schooneman.
George and his team were kind enough to put some videos together. Last year, the sound videos were incredible, and this year is no different. So we're going to start off with a video so we could get the lights down low, till regular level low. And
Or Vay Heck low. I think we can go some Vay Heck low. Low. Oh, yeah.
this is amazing, by the way.
That's not my hand. Man, I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah. But wait, there's more.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's so the first one was all the sounds for Chem Nox, which gross Grenier, dirty, vile Grenier that
It
needs.
felt like a avant-garde music video.
It was
as
kind
well.
of avant-garde, I think.
Like just Eric smashing food with
Yeah.
rocks, like some.
With intent too. You know, he had to get into the role to really pull that one off. But yeah, so that was a bit of footsteps for Nox, for his weapon, for the goo that he shoots out, and then the modular synths, which we've just recently got into, which are pretty amazing for the boss battle in Octavia's Anthem. All of that was done with modular synths, and they're a lot of fun. They're you know, like, I don't know if any of you know a lot about synths, but you know, most synths you dial in a preset and you've got all the controls right there, and you can just save your patches. Modular synths are all about of the moment. So you patch into each module. Each module is custom made. You get to pick individual modules and put together your own instrument. So everything that comes out of it is unique. And it's cool. But once you pull all the patch cords out, the sound's gone, man. So you got to record it all. So yeah, we've been having a ton of fun with that lately.
Maybe too much fun. It sounds like you designed the boss battle just so you could buy a modular synth.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
I get it
Let's
now.
do more of that. But yeah, so
That's awesome.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And our next, so do you want to say anything else about that video? I know you have another
that was
few,
good.
so we'll get on to number 2. The
Yes,
sound guy's
yes.
bringing video. It doesn't make sense, but we'll.
I know.
Is this the long one?
We're looking really cool in that shot. No.
Hands up if you've played Octavia's Anthem, so you know where this is going. Awesome.
Setting up mics, obviously. Eric Preston, one of our sound designers, is a very proficient drummer. So we got him to play a lot of the drum samples for Octavia's Anthem. So that's him right there. He likes throwing rocks too.
Is Eric watching right now? Are you here? Because you're kind of the star of these videos. I don't even know if you're in the room. Somewhere? Is he here?
Oh, he didn't even show up. That's it, fired. Oh, I'm just kidding.
If you're here, Eric, you should come up and take a bow for your performance.
For Octavia's Anthem, we decided that we wanted to record real instruments to give it a very authentic feel. We booked time at a local studio where we could record real drums with a real drummer. We knew that we wanted to release a bunch of different sound packs. Yep. That meant that we had to record a number of different instruments. So we set up various drum kits that we could sample. We would play each drum individually, record it into Pro Tools, and then cut it up and put it into the game. The key to a good performance is to record multiple takes. We spent a whole day recording everything we could possibly record in the studio. We wanted to get the perfect drum sound, so we really spent a lot of time moving microphones around, moving drums around, tuning the drums, and making sure the recording levels were right. And overall, we had to make sure we got the right sound for Octavia.
very slowly too.
Ready? Yeah, all together? Yes. Okay.
Carl. So we also needed strings and woodwinds and brass for Octavia's anthem. So we went to a local school, local art school, and recorded all of that as well. So everything that you hear in Manticore are all custom designed sounds, nothing from libraries, all recorded by us, recording everything, cutting it up and putting it into the game. And Carl actually plays French horn, and so he directed the players for us, and he did a good job of it as well. That's one of the. Yeah, so it was a string quartet, recorded a French horn, a trombone, a trumpet, and clarinet, and nope, I think.
Ding. Using now? Yes, and both. Then we'll do pizzicato.
It was a time-consuming
So you
process
want me to
because they
hear
had to play each note individually. So they had to play an A, and they had to play an A sharp, and they had to play B in order to put it in the engine. We also recorded a choir, so everything you hear is all choir. And same thing, recording each individual note, different, crescendos, decrescendos, all of that kind of stuff to get it to sound right in engine. Yeah, tuning it all was kind of crazy too, because as hard as you try to record real instruments and have them in tune when you're recording them, when you put them all together in pieces, something's all, and if it's a quartet too, if someone's a little sharp or a little flat, you've got to accommodate for that. And so it was a learning experience. So.
And then all of you guys just try to rickroll each other with them. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good job.
Yeah, that's a really great hard work, but yeah.
All I have to say, George, is welcome to my world.
Yep. Yeah. No, but Octavia's anthem, just Octavia herself was a ton of fun. Yeah. Really proud of that frame. So.
It's George's baby, guys. It's
Yeah.
George, woo, and your baby.
So we have 2 more videos as well. The next one are both music, I believe, or
Yes, music. Yeah. Keith is a fantastic singer. It's all Keith.
many air hoop players in
we
the
met
house.
we met 2 people today.
Met about 4 of
Crazy.
them.
4. Make your choice, Tenno.
And there's not a dry eye in the house.
There's a bit of an elephant in the room for me when I hear that, and it's the choir of me. So I wish that I could say that George called me up and said, Keith, I have this brilliant idea.
Never happens.
We need to have a choir of you, and it's going to be awesome.
Only Keith.
That never happened. That conversation never happened. It's I work on a piece of music like this, or George and I work on a piece of music like this back and forth for days and days and days and weeks and months sometimes, and I'll get it to a point where I'm feeling really good about it. It feels like it's done. It feels like everything has been, everything is in the right place. And then the hours are ticking down. And that's when I sort of wonder if there's something missing. Is there something missing? Is there one last thing that I can put on it that even if, it's just, that will take it to the next level. And I'll think, we should record 8 opera singers. We should record them in a cathedral in Austria. And then, you look at the watch and it's like there's 2 hours left.
And then George says, how much is that going to cost?
There's 2 hours left. There's no way to do it. So I end up putting up a microphone and I'm like, I'm just going to, let's see what happens.
So you're your own Austrian choir?
I'm my own Austrian choir of 8 opera singers.
That needs to go on a
I knew
business
you were
card
talented,
right now.
It sounds
That
fantastic.
needs to go, yeah.
Thank you.
Keith
Thanks,
Power,
George.
his own Austrian chorus.
I
His
didn't
own
even know that.
Austrian
That sounds
choir.
amazing.
Yeah. I think
Is this piece of music, thank you, by the way, is this piece of music on the soundtrack that's available out in the...
it is not on the soundtrack that's
It's
available.
not
out
on
there.
volume 1,
Wow, you
but it
guys
might
are
be
Not
on volume 2.
of the
Volume
soundtrack that's
two.
available out there.
You guys are so subtle.
Need one.
Just
No.
checking, just
Yeah.
asking. It was
Well,
just a
And
question.
then then here's this guy teasing you about what's coming up later. Oh my gosh! And he's like, "Oh well, that thing is bruh, but this new thing is woo." It's just like what?
Well,
Oh my gosh!
speak-
I don't know how. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Speaking of new, I think we have a sneak peek at
do.
some upcoming music.
Yeah, so this is the world premiere of some new music.
George, don't say too much. Don't say
Okay,
too much.
that's all I'm going to say.
And if you guys want to start lining up for the Q&A, which I think you have, stay there. We'll get to you right after.
He stopped me in time.
Just a taste. Just a taste.
Just a
Just a
taste.
taste.
Just a taste.
And
It's
you'll
for something in Warframe. Something.
I want to run through a jungle now. That sounds awesome.
If you hang around till the end of tonight, I guarantee you'll hear more of that.
that's a George guarantee. And
It's 100% guaranteed.
And a bunch of different music, right? I think we did, was it 9 or 10, maybe 12 minutes of new music?
Yeah.
And it takes us off in
There's a lot of new
a different
music.
direction.
Yeah.
We actually sent him to Austria, and you didn't know. You're stuck here.
Just got back
Yeah.
yesterday.
So, well, you guys are amazing, and I'm sure the people here are lining up to ask you questions. So, are you guys good to do some Q&A? Awesome. All right, we'll start. If you could just let us know your name, and we'll get some questions answered.
Hi, my name is Joe. I had a compliment and 2 quick questions for you. You guys are who I use as an example of great audio in gaming when I interview. I do audio in AAA gaming, and you're the game that I mentioned, so
Oh, wow.
I love
Thank
your
you.
work.
Well,
Thank
we
you
love
very
you.
much.
That's
You,
awesome.
Joe.
But 2 quick questions. The first one was Till Rhaegor, since he's here, was Till Rhaegor written to be Cockney? Everything he reads, and you slipped in, even in your bloopers, you slipped into that accent, and I've always,
did, yeah, I did
ever
slip
since I've
into
seen
that.
it, I always thought he was.
You know, again, so many revisions that George and I went through to get Till to that point. He definitely had an attitude, and again, the character comes first, the voice follows the character, and the characterization made him so disdainful and so arrogant and so sarcastic that I wouldn't want to say it was a Cockney accent. Maybe I would call it a transatlantic accent, that it was that kind of Ivy League prep school meets Oxford kind of blend. That it's not completely England, but it's not exactly American. One of those things there. So it's a cleaned up enunciation, is that stuff. So to answer the question, no, he definitely wasn't written with an accent. Rare, I think that even an accent comes
Yeah.
along. We were talking about this actually earlier today.
Yeah,
I think, but-
I like to let just actors interpret the lines too. You know, I think if an actor's going to read the lines, if the writing is good, then it should just come naturally, and that's part of the whole process. I think it's kind of an organic, natural process, and then it's like, yep, that person nailed it. That's the character, and then refining.
I want to be a Russian Grenier right now. I want to be a Russian Grenier.
We can make it happen. We can conspire.
I would like to hunt Tenno with my guns now.
Well, and that leads into my other quick question was, the only other thing I've ever seen do the non-English speaking so well was Star Wars, and I miss Vor yelling at me in gibberish, and I wondered if that was ever coming back or if that's a way of the past.
Yeah, Vor, actually, it's a language. Like, he's speaking Grenier, and we came up with a whole language for the Grenier, and everything they say is actually, we have a little script that you can translate everything they say. I'd love to see more Vor, but probably sometime soon. I don't know.
Yeah, the writer of some of the lines is actually right here. If you
Yeah.
want, there
Ryan
he
Mole.
is. Yeah, there he is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And
Joe.
Next question. Oh, we got a flashlight. Oh, are you doing thematic lighting for your question?
Tell scary stories.
No, just so you can see my face, because Jeff told me that you had a hard time seeing people last time. I don't know.
Hi
But,
again.
my question is, and I'm going to kind of preface like that. I know dojo updates are coming this year, but if you remember last year, there were a couple of people at the event that were taken off to the side to design an instrument for the dojo.
Yes.
And would you be able to shed some light on like where they are in development?
It's actually done, and we haven't released it. We used it. George got a chance to make a music box for the dojo. It works. It's in one dojo in the world right now, and that is the couple that got married in Warframe. Their dojo currently houses the instrument that was made here, and we just forgot to release it. So
Yep.
we'll
That's
do that.
exactly it.
So TennoCon brought you the music box back because we'll do
Yep.
it when we get back to work.
Mental note.
Yeah. And I do have people behind me, but would I be able to get one more question in maybe?
Sure, yeah.
Just did, but go ahead and get a third.
Okay. So to me, Warframe as a game where you run around and you just like spread carnage everywhere and just like pile up a bunch of bodies seems really, really metal to me. Has there been a suggested composition for your own original score that is like kind of like heavy metal?
It would be really cool to try something like that. I think something maybe for the Grenier or something, because they're kind of orchestral, kind of. But I could see them having a metal track. That'd be pretty cool to do,
The
actually.
Corpus are robots and things. They are metal.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm recording,
they
I
are
joke with my
metal. They
friends
are.
that I'm recording
are.
heavy metal lines. So yeah,
Yeah.
going to do some grindcore lyrics.
We both have long hair because we're starting a Vayhek and Lotus hair metal band. So
Yeah.
together, you'll see our album From
Yeah.
Vahek to Lotus, shipping soon with.
From Vahek to Lotus. I like
That
that.
would be so cool.
It's a great title.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Hard
like
on the front.
Evanescence meets. You'll see. It's gonna be great.
You'll see. It's gonna rock.
All right, and like you guys do a really good job on the score on Warframe, and I especially the Kuva Fortress track I really like the most. But
Oh,
New
thank
one.
you.
yep,
Thank
and
you.
to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, hello.
Hello, my name is Fashion Frame.
I know who
Hey,
you
Fashion
are.
Frame.
Yes.
Fashion Frame.
Where's your light? Where's your light?
Hang on, I got it.
Illuminate you. Oh, there we go. Oh, you have a lighter.
Oh my gosh, the shadow. That's so cool.
That is cool.
My voice sounds really weird on this thing.
Sounds awesome. What are you talking about?
You know
no
what?
problem.
I don't need. You don't need to see my face. Question for you, Keith. Well, I'm a huge orchestral fan, and I was wondering, do you have any favorite composers, or is there anyone that you look up to? Any composers or any orchestral pieces, anything like that?
Good question. Yeah, so many people. I mean, everybody that's ever done anything great, basically. Trying to think of specific. David Bowie.
That's a good one.
Yeah. He's
That's
my
an
favorite
interesting
orchestral
answer.
composer. Queen.
Yes.
Freddie
Interesting
Mercury.
answer.
Do you know any like Hans Zimmer, James Horner?
Of
anything like
course. Those guys are great, but they're my competition, man.
Right.
I'm not going to sit
got
here and
Keith
promote those
Powers.
guys. No, I'm
You
kidding.
ought to hear
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer's Austrian choir. That's what you really ought to hear.
that? I have, and I love it.
No, I mean, they're the best in the world at what they do. Yeah, huge influences on me,
I'm sorry.
especially as a kid.
You're
growing
the
up.
best in the world. I'm sorry.
right.
Your music.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
Damn right.
Thanks so much. It's kind of you. Kind of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And don't forget, all of these fine folks will be signing autographs for an hour after the panel, so you can go over there after. So if you didn't get your question in, but we'll still take some, absolutely.
Awesome.
Hello.
I'm Jake, or Jakey Prime. I had.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
hi. I had a very targeted question. I feel bad because all of you are really awesome, and Keith is personally like one of the biggest inspirations for my music. So thank you. It's awesome. But for Vahek, did you? Like you said, you were QA, and obviously you probably started there. But for voice acting, how did you, I don't know, get casted? Like, were you just, they made your food wrong in the DE office and that came out? Or was there a casting call in office or something like that?
That's actually a great question. Thank you for coming as well, by the way. What happened was we did a little bit of an internal audition. We went in, anybody really that was kind of interested in doing something for the game, George said, come on in. We'll have you go through just a bunch of voices. We did a lot of different attempts at things that you wanted to do. If you wanted to try an accent, you wanted to do this. And Vahek was in there somewhere. Like it was one of the more kind of lower demonic voices, I guess, that I did. And George was like, that's great. I love that. Can we do that one? And I said, okay, sure, I'll try to do that. And next thing I know, they said, okay, look, we got a character in mind. Come on over. We're going to record some lines for it. And then, you know, now I'm QA every now and then. They come on, just get over here. Come on, let's go. We got stuff to do. So, yeah, that's how it happened.
I guess it's not a follow-up question, but I doubt someone would say no. Can you maybe say something in your beautiful voice for us?
Something.
Perfect.
No. Indeed, you are privileged to be here. Be gone.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Eric. First of all, I've been with Warframe since its inception. Came out in 2013. I'm a founder.
Thank you.
But through the whole journey of Warframe, I noticed one key difference when I was fighting through bosses. I noticed you suddenly switched Vor from Grineer to English. What led to that switch?
Yes, that's a very good question. I think, so I had this idea that he would just speak in Grineer, but then, you know, intelligibility and making sure that people understand what the character is saying is the most important thing. And I think we all kind of thought a bit of that was getting lost. And so that was basically the decision to switch from Grineer to English-speaking Vor, you know, just to because he started off as a smaller kind of character, and then as he grew and became more part of the story, it became apparent that people really need to understand what he was saying, and putting up subtitles all the time, isn't the best thing. So that's basically the reason.
That's actually not true. The reason is you guys wouldn't have that amazing meme of Vor doing his speech in the void. If he spoke Grenier, the meme wouldn't exist. So he needed English for the meme.
That's true. That's true too. That's the second answer.
And a follow-up question for my two lovely Grenier voice actors. Where did you get your big break as a voice actor? Because I'm
looking at it there, partner.
That's your big break right there? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, well, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I've always done, I've done voices, just kind of, it's a weird quirk of mine. I've always done them. This was the first opportunity I ever had to put that quirky talent, I guess, to use, and then actually have it be used kind of regularly. So I didn't plan any voice work, but it's like one of those awesome things that you get to do. So.
And a lot of voice actors don't really plan on being voice actors. They plan on being actors, and then they kind of fall into voiceover as it stands because it's an option that exists out there, and it supplements the rest of the acting work. It's an interesting question, though, because you say, when did you get your break? Who's to say I got my break? Who's to say I'm not still getting there? Who's to say the first break I ever had was the first job I ever had? It's interpretational, I think, for the first part, but getting to break into voiceover, again, that would probably be my first job. And everybody wants to know, how did you break into voiceover? Because what they really want to know is, how could I break into voiceover?
Exactly.
And it's a beautiful question, and I wish it had a full answer. Because if it had an answer, I would tell you, and we would all know it, and I think this entire room would all be full of voice actors right now. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh my freaking God, yes. But I don't know. People get into it in their own way. Some people get in through radio, some people get in through theater, some people get in through just walking in and having the deepest voice in the room. There's people out there that are like that. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of ways to get discovered, and one of the best ways is to not try to get discovered. Just to do it because you love it, do it because you're passionate about it, and if you're persistent enough, you keep a positive attitude, it's going to go really, really far. It really, really will. And I will say this, Warframe, oh yeah, I got you that, didn't I? I got Lotus something.
I forgot that I was supposed to open it on stage, so you can.
You can go ahead. I'll finish this. I'll finish this thing here.
What is
because Warframe itself was, there are instructions on there.
Instructions on the front here.
There's a 3-step process, or else you'll spoil it for yourself. Warframe actually was the very first game where
Don't
people
open it too close to me.
Where, unbeknownst to me, people decided, now you pull it out from the top. There you go. See? That's why I said I covered it up. That's why I covered it up.
Waifus!
It's a playmat. I thought I'd combine two of your favorites.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Nice. I think just to add a bit to Luke's answer, put yourself out there. There's tons of sites, online that need voice actors, and audition for roles. And just keep doing it. And if you keep doing it, something will hit. And you'll be able to practice your craft and get better at it. The more you do it, it's like anything. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it.
And truth be told, I probably sent George maybe 8 to 10 different auditions for characters before we landed on the very first one for Nefanya.
Give people options.
Which is just, I tried out for Baron Katir. I tried out for Samaris. I tried out for, Red Veil. I tried out for all these different things, and I didn't get discouraged. So I say positive attitude. You keep trying, and it was like this. And then Nefanya came along, and he was like, "That's perfect. We're rolling with that."
My first audition that I did when I went in as well, they didn't pick me up for anything with the voices I did. It was, I think, the second one I did where I did that one particular voice, and they said, "Yeah, that." So if you're interested in it and you get that one, have at least enough knowledge to know, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not terrible, and then pursue that.
Exactly.
All right, the wonderful Megan is here to prepare for the following panel. So we're going to wrap this
Cool.
up. A round of